We view history as a record of kings and conquests, but human ambition is secondary to a more powerful architect, the ground beneath our feet. The Indian subcontinent functions as a vast geographic laboratory, divided into three distinct survival zones: the northern mountains, the central plains, and the southern plateau. To the north, the Himalayas form a 2,400-kilometer barrier. This range dictates the regional climate by blocking cold northern winds and trapping the monsoon rains that feed the plains below. Below these peaks lie the fertile river plains of the Indus and the Ganges, while further south, the landscape shifts into the mineral-rich, elevated terrain of the Peninsular Plateau. These three zones defined the terms of early human life. The specific climate and topography of each region dictated where settlements could form and how those populations would evolve. 500,000 years ago, during the Pleistocene epoch, the environment was a frozen, formidable obstacle. Advancing glaciers reshaped the Earth, creating a world where survival was precarious and physically demanding. In the tropical regions, where the ice gave way to habitable land, the nomadic hunters of the Paleolithic age emerged. These groups lived in total reliance on their immediate surroundings, moving constantly to follow seasonal resources. Their technology was purely reactive. They crafted heavy hand axes and chopping tools by chipping away the edges of local stones, creating implements for basic hunting and foraging. Geology dictated their toolkit. In hilly regions, quartzite; in Maharashtra, basalt; and in Karnataka, limestone. Even as they developed more refined flake tools and scrapers, these implements remained limited. They were effective for basic tasks like digging roots or stripping animal skins, but provided little leverage against the environment. Throughout the Paleolithic, humanity remained a passenger to the Earth's geological lottery. Potential was capped by the raw materials available in any given valley or hillside. Around 10,000 BC, the global climate pivoted. As temperatures rose and the ice melted, the landscapes of the subcontinent transformed, bringing new species of plants and animals. In this Mesolithic age, the disappearance of large Ice Age game required a shift in survival strategy. Humans could no longer rely on the heavy, blunt tools of their ancestors. Innovation took the form of microliths, tiny geometric stone pieces, often less than 5 centimeters long. These were affixed to wooden shafts, creating the first composite spears and arrows. This technology provided the precision needed to hunt smaller, faster animals and pursue fishing. It allowed populations to diversify their diet and exploit a wider range of the changing environment. The warming climate necessitated a strategic overhaul. Survival now depended on this technological leap, moving humans from passive foragers to precise, adaptable hunters. This adaptability led to the Neolithic age, where the relationship between humans and the land changed. Instead of following existing resources, groups began to actively produce them. This period established the pillars of settled life: the domestication of animals, polished stone tools for durability, and the systematic cultivation of plants. Agriculture required stability. Populations anchored themselves to fertile river valleys and plains, trading their nomadic freedom for the reliable yields of the silt-rich soil. By settling in these specific regions, humans moved beyond simple survival. They began to systematically exploit the geographic features of the subcontinent to build permanent, expanding communities. As populations settled, their long-term success became tied to a resource lottery. A region's specific soil, water, and minerals would now determine its economic and political trajectory. In the Indus region, a semi-arid climate paired with a massive river system created the ideal conditions for surplus agriculture, specifically wheat. This surplus supported a population that no longer had to forage to survive. The result was the Harappan civilization, the subcontinent's first highly organized urban culture. To the east, the state of Magadha possessed a different set of advantages. It sat in a fertile basin, but crucially, it had direct access to iron ore deposits and dense timber. Iron allowed Magadha to mass-produce superior tools and weaponry. This material advantage gave them the logistical edge to expand their territory and dominate their neighbors. Success was a direct reflection of resource access. By combining fertile soil with metal ores and navigable rivers, these regions secured the food and weaponry required to establish the first great empires. Formidable geographic barriers often possessed specific conduits. In the Western Ghats, the Pal Ghat Pass provides a natural opening through the rugged mountains. This gap linked the interior of the peninsula to the coast, turning small ports into major centers for Indo-Roman maritime trade. The arc of this history moves from Paleolithic nomads reliant on local rocks to urban empires fueled by iron mines and global trade routes. Civilization was built through this interaction. The land dictates the available tools. Those tools transform the land, and the result is the complex, interconnected history of the subcontinent.